On the morning of January 26, 1966, 3 siblings left their home in Adelaide, South Australia, and boarded a bus headed for Glenelg Beach. 9-year-old Jane Beaumont, 7-year-old Arna Beaumont, and their youngest brother, 4-year-old Grant. It was a short trip, a routine one, the kind of journey that families had trusted countless times before. Their mother, Nancy Beaumont, watched them leave sometime after 8:30 a.m. The children were confident, independent. Jane had been to the beach many times before. They carried towels, spare clothes, and enough money for snacks and the bus ride home. They were supposed to return by noon. They never did. By early afternoon, Nancy began to feel that something wasn't right. The bus arrived. Other children stepped off. But Jane, Arna, and Grant weren't among them. At first, she assumed a delay. Maybe they had missed the bus. Maybe they were playing longer than planned. But as the hours passed, and the sun began to lower, panic set in. Nancy reported the children missing later that evening. What followed would become one of the most disturbing and enduring unsolved cases in Australian history. Police began searching Glenelg Beach almost immediately. The shoreline, the surrounding streets, the nearby amusement park. Witnesses came forward, and that's when the story took a darker turn. Multiple people reported seeing the Beaumont children that day, not alone, but in the company of an adult man. He was described as tall, slim, possibly in his mid-30s, well-spoken, calm, friendly. Several witnesses noticed something unsettling. The children appeared relaxed around him, comfortable, as if they trusted him. One shopkeeper recalled Jane buying food, but using a £1 note. That was strange. The Beaumont children hadn't been given that much money. When asked where it came from, Jane allegedly replied that the man had given it to her. Another witness later said they overheard the man asking Jane what school she attended. He remembered it clearly, because it felt wrong, too familiar, too casual. By mid-afternoon, the children were seen again, walking away from the beach with the same man. That was the last confirmed sighting of Jane, Arna, and Grant Beaumont. As night fell, the search intensified. Police, volunteers, and later even the Australian military scoured beaches, sand dunes, construction sites, and open land. Nothing. No clothes, no belongings, no bodies. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. The case exploded nationwide. Media coverage was relentless. Parents across Australia were gripped with fear. Children were no longer allowed to roam freely. Trust, once assumed, was shattered. Investigators pursued countless leads. Suspicious men were interviewed. Known offenders were questioned. Tips flooded in from across the country. But every trail went cold. Years later, new suspects emerged. One was a man named Harry Phipps, a wealthy businessman with a disturbing history and allegations involving children. He lived near the beach. He owned a factory. He had access to vehicles and isolated locations. In 2007, police excavated land once owned by Phipps.
A new witness and a new area of interest.
A former employee of the site came to the dig.
Day 6 of the private dig for the missing Beaumont children, unearthing an extra spot to search. A patch of land that suspect Harry Phipps is said to have regularly stopped and stared at following the Beaumont children's disappearance.
Following a tip that the children had been buried there.
It's a claim that's been previously raised by former managers, but this search team hasn't known the exact location. And today, another dramatic development. Harry Phipps's niece breaking her silence, hitting back at claims of a bombshell link between the Phipps and Beaumont families. She says while it's true she was married to a third cousin of Jim Beaumont, the missing children's father, they didn't meet until 1983, almost 2 decades after Jane, Anna and Grant disappeared.
Once again, nothing. Another suspect was identified decades later after a deathbed confession was reported, claiming the children had been abducted, murdered, and disposed of. The information was detailed, graphic, convincing. Still, no physical evidence. And so the question remains, what happened on that beach? Did a predator exploit the children's trust in broad daylight? Did someone carefully plan the perfect crime, knowing that children were often left unsupervised? Or was the truth hidden so well that it disappeared forever with the victims? The most disturbing detail is this: whoever took the Beaumont children did so calmly, publicly, without force, in a place filled with people. They walked away, not screaming, not struggling, but trusting. To this day, no arrests have been made. No remains have been conclusively identified. No final answers have been given to their family. The Beaumont children didn't just vanish. They were erased. And somewhere, whether known or unknown, the person responsible carried on with their life, while 3 children were never allowed to grow old. And the beach they never came home from still looks peaceful. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you. I appreciate you so much. If you find creepy, disturbing, or horror contents interesting, please do like and subscribe for more videos like this. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.